Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today we're going to be talking about the second week in July, and what I'm talking about is July 8th through the 14th. We're going to be going day by day, and remember, I'm always talking about Central Daylight Time, Central Time Zone, from all that I'm talking about. So adjust your clocks to wherever you are around the world. And always put down in the comments where you're from. I'd love to know where you're watching from. And so this week, everything as we get closer to July 20th is heating up. This month has so much going on. And it's not an easy month. I keep telling everybody, keep your seatbelts on. So we're going to be talking about where the moon is every day. And this really does depict what everyone is feeling day by day based on where all the planets are relative where the moon is. Because the moon is the public, the moon is the people, the moon is how we feel. So very important. Let's begin by talking about Tuesday, July 8th. And on this day, actually, we're going to have the moon is in Scorpio, the last degrees of Scorpio, which is the tail of the scorpion. That's the stinger. Remember, there can be some crazy things going on, and some people can be very upset. It's Gandanta. It is in the last degrees of a water sign, so this will be a pretty crazy day. Now, another thing is, it's a Tuesday. Tuesdays are ruled by Mars, and we have that Mars getting awfully close to Ketu. Excuse me, things are heating up. Things are getting violent. People are getting angrier by the minute. I expect all sorts of protests and crazy things going on in the world at this time, especially with the moon in Scorpio. So halfway through the day with the moon in Scorpio, and it becomes right at the midpoint of the nodal axes. This is intense, emotional day for everyone. It's at 29 degrees. And yesterday and today, it's all heating up. But yeah, there can be some violence today. I'm not happy about this. This is a crazy day. And then when I move it to 5 p.m. Central Time, the moon will shift into Sagittarius. Still Gandanta, early degrees of fire. Gandanta means things are out of control. People are more emotional. They're not reacting properly. They're crazy. And the moon will enter into Sagittarius, which is the sign that wants to know the truth. But it's in Mula, the nakshatra Mula. Mula is the nakshatra that deals with destruction. I'm not liking that. And it's nearing the full moon, so this is nearing a bright time where people will be able to see things better, clearer. The moon lights up the night sky, so the darkness is illuminated and we can see clearer. Now the moon, while it is in Sagittarius, is opposing Jupiter, so hopefully this can shed some light on things, even though I don't like that Jupiter is in the nakshatra Ardra. Ardra is a teardrop. Man, Jupiter in Ardra and the moon in Mula, it's getting bad out there, let me say. Start to retreat more. I don't like these aspects. And Saturn's in the 4th house from the moon with Neptune. It's not a good time for real estate shopping, but and things around the household could get broken, need to be fixed. It's a tough time. I don't like this. So with Saturn being in the 4th from the moon, if your mother's still around, check on her. There's something going on where she is not seeing things properly herself. Rahu being in the 3rd house. If you have brothers or sisters, you might find that they're acting a little out there. Things are not right with them. As a matter of fact, you might even have a sibling that's having some marital problems. I'm looking at where Rahu, Ketu are from the moon, yes. Venus does go to the 6th house during this time. This can deal with getting your health together, getting healthier, getting stronger. And Mercury going to the 8th house from the moon, it's actually not bad. I'll tell you why. Mercury's the only planet that does well in the 8th house. So it is a time for deep introspection. Yes. And get ready, because in only 10 days, Mercury's going to go retrograde. So use this time for what it's good for. Mars, Ketu are in the 9th house from the moon. It is not a good time for traveling. It's not. So if you have to travel, you know, there's many flights that probably will take off safely, but just do a prayer of protection. And not only that, I don't think it's so much that something will go wrong with the aircraft, but the airports, things are getting hectic. All right. So now I am moving it to July 9th. And this is a Wednesday. And here we have the moon, the entire day is in Sagittarius. So half of the day till around 6:30, yeah, the moon is in Mula still, which is very destructive. It's not a good place for the moon. But the moon will move into Purva Ashada around 7 p.m. Central Time. So around 7 p.m. when the moon is in Purva Ashada, remember to adjust your clock. If it's going to be a different time. Yes, the moon will go into Purva Ashada 7 o'clock Central Time, but just remember that that means it will be a different time for you. So if you're in, for example, if you're in the Eastern time zone, it will be, let's see, 8 o'clock. If you're in California, that means it will be 2 hours earlier that it is. So if it's 7 o'clock, let's see, 5 to 6 to 7, yeah, it'll be 5 o'clock. So be aware to adjust your clocks, your time for what I'm saying. So, but regardless, the moon is in Sagittarius all day, but Purva Ashada is much more positive than Mula in terms of what we're going to be feeling. Purva Ashada, it is a harsh nakshatra when it comes to war and things of that nature. And we are almost on the full moon. Let's see. Actually, yeah, the full moon will actually happen on July 10th, but early in the day, real early in the day. But this is almost the full moon, so there's brightness. Purva Ashada is much better than the day before. There's a little bit of a better feeling. Saturn's still in the 4th. Check on your mom. Problems of things you can't see going on in your house that can be messed up. But Jupiter is 7th from the moon. Yes, this can be a good time for relationships or even meeting someone. So even though the world's falling apart, it could be okay in your own personal life, right? So yes, and like I said, I don't like these days for travel with Mars Ketu in the 9th house. All right, so let us go to July 10th. July 10th is the full moon. Yes, and actually, I had said that the full moon would happen early in the day, but actually it's going to be later in the day. So we have the exact full moon around 4 p.m. Central Time Zone. So if it's 4 p.m. Central Time Zone, it'll be it'll be 5 in New York and let's see, 4, 5, 5 to 6, it'll be 6, 2 hours later. I mean, earlier, excuse me, earlier. It will be 13 to 14. No, it'll be 4. It's 4, excuse me. It'll be 2 p.m. So it'll be 2 in California, and it will 2 p.m. and it will be 4 p.m. in Central Time. I just want to give you a reference so you know where you are. And if you're other countries, look and see how different the time zone is from Central Time. Okay, so now you know how to do this. And I want to say Rahu in the 3rd house from the moon can represent issues with siblings, especially siblings who are having problems with their partners. They are. So look out for that. Yes, so let's move it to, yeah, and that full moon will bring everything into fruition. Things that you've been working on for the 2 weeks prior will come to fruition and you'll get a result. Now we're looking at Friday, July 11th. And Friday, July 11th, the moon moves into Capricorn, and it will basically be in Capricorn the entire day. Let me take this. Yeah, the entire day pretty much it's going to be in Capricorn. And it will be in the nakshatra Uttara Ashada. But let me say this. This is a critical day. Why? Because I'm noticing the sun is in an aspect to Rahu. It is trine Rahu, and that is critical for world leaders. Friday, July 11th. We have so much to worry about in the world this month. It's crazy. And look at Mars. It is almost with Ketu. I'm telling you, the closer it gets to Ketu, the more chaotic and the more violent people become. It is just, what, 6 degrees away. Yeah, it's getting more intense. People are losing it. People are violent. People are protesting. People are angry. You're going to be feeling it too. Because what I'm seeing from this day, the Mars Ketu goes to the 8th house. What is the 8th house? It's the most difficult house of all. So there's some deep, deep things going on that are not good. Secrets and things behind the scenes, corruption. Pay attention to what's happening. Now, Mercury and Moon are opposed to each other. And that's where the mind is on overdrive. But today, July 11th, the moon will be with Pluto. Pluto deals with major problems, major interruptions, and transformations. This is a difficult day. I don't like it, especially since Rahu is aspecting the sun. Very difficult for world leaders. Be aware. Saturn being in the 11th house from the moon, siblings, travel are having problems. Both issues with siblings and, yeah, if you have a trip, mainly by car planned, there could be some cancellations. Things are getting heavy now. But I will say this, Venus is in the 5th house, so possibly spend some time being more creative. That's what this day is good for. Now I'm looking at Saturday, July 12th. And on this day, the moon will be in Capricorn the entire day, but it will be in the nakshatra called Shravana. And Shravana is the listener. Its symbol is an ear. So Shravana is open to hearing things, and that's a good thing. While the moon and Mercury are exactly opposed to each other, this is a good day for listening. You must listen too. Don't just always be the one that's saying everything. This is important to realize. And with this, Mars and Ketu are still in the 8th house, really difficult. It is a time for deep, deep introspection. But I'm thinking it has more to do with world events. Things are still intense and crazy. Now, looking at this, I'm thinking Rahu in the 2nd house from the moon. Be careful how you spend your money. That's one thing I will say. And another thing is Venus is in the 5th house. If you do spend your money, spend it on some creative projects, some things that you will love and have fun doing. The world's going crazy right now. It is just intense. Jupiter is in the 6th house, so there's a bit of a struggle, but make it about doing things for you. Being more creative and doing things for you. That's what this day is good for. And listen more. Don't be doing all the talking. Now I'm looking at Sunday, which is July 13th. And on this day, the moon will shift into Aquarius. Probably pretty early in the day. I'm going to say, let me back it up to see exactly when it goes into Aquarius. It's going to be around 8 or 9 a.m. Central Time Zone. Adjust your clocks. So the moon is in Aquarius. And with it being in Aquarius, everything shifts. It's going to line up with Rahu. Not today, but it's getting close. So things are intensifying. Oh my goodness, Mars is getting closer to Ketu. Things are getting so heated up in this world, I'm telling you. You're tired of me saying it. I know, I'm tired of saying it. I can't wait to progress beyond all of this. But Saturn's in the 2nd house from the moon. Don't be spending money needlessly. Be careful about spending. And we have the Mars Ketu in the 7th house from the moon. Be careful with your relationships. Your partner will be more angry. They will have arguments. They won't agree with you. It's not the time to try to pick a fight. Don't. Stay clear from that. Now, Jupiter's Sun is in the 5th house. It is a good day for your creative endeavors. 5th house is about creativity and spending time with your children. If you have children, it'll be a lovely day for that. And Venus is in the 4th house. If you're looking for real estate, home, property, hey, this would be the best day so far I've been seeing in the month, with Venus being in Taurus. It's a great sign for Venus. You'll find a beautiful home. And if you're shopping for a new home, yeah, the world is still existing. It's not like it's ended or anything. So you can find some good deals on property. Real estate, start looking. Just be aware of how you spend your money. Property is not a bad way to spend money. All right. Now I'm looking at Monday, July 14th. I like that it's Bastille Day in France. My husband's French. We always celebrate it here in Dallas. We always eat French food, so that's a fun thing to do. But looking at this, the moon is getting closer to Rahu. It's heating up. It's getting really intense. The moon is moving into a difficult nakshatra called Shatabishak. Shatabishak is a difficult nakshatra, can deal with addictions, people that have problems mentally and physically, really. So be aware that this is a time that people will be acting a little bit out of control. Well, not a little bit, a lot out of control, because Mars is opposing the moon with Ketu. People are angry, especially in your personal relationships. People are heated up, angry. Don't pick a fight with people. It will be senseless and you will feel like you can't win because people are so nasty and angry right now. Spend time with your kids. They're lovely. Things are getting better with your creative talents and your ideas. Pay attention. You'll have all sorts of creative ideas today. And it's a good time to look at how you're eating your health with Mercury in the 6th. But Saturn, Neptune in the 2nd. Be careful with spending. But going back to that Venus, today, yesterday and today, are excellent times for finding property, real estate, things that you're looking for. And that's a good thing. So, yes. And by this time, I forgot to mention, Saturn turns retrograde on the 13th of July. It's heavy. It's intense. You'll be feeling it today, the 14th, as well as the day that it turns retrograde. Saturn retrograde. Now we've got some problems to look at in the financial markets. Yes. But remember what I said. The financial markets could pivot and go down. It's not going to stay that way. But that's because of all the aspects of war and fighting that are going on this entire month. So with that, I think I'll close. Remember, if you want more information on me, you want to sign up for my free newsletter, find out about Patreon, find out about my galactic planner so that you can plug in all these aspects into your own chart to see how it really affects you on a deep personal level. You'll want my galactic planner. Go to galacticplanner.com, or you can find it on my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Don't forget, if you want to learn Vedic astrology, now's the time to sign up for my university. It is beginning August 6th, the first semester. You can learn astrology. Follow everything I'm doing like a pro. So become my student. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.